Hey guys, Dazzler Magic here, and it looks like Wizards is having a Monday. But before we jump into it, I'll just come out and say it. I'm not thrilled with the amount of views that my last video got. So if you missed it, which by the stats, in other words, yes, if you want to know what I look like, it's one of the very, very rare face reveals, and then it goes straight from there bonkers off the cliff because I go full emo in the makeup and wig and everything because I thought it was funny. So go watch the reading mean comments video if for some reason you want to see that. Thought more people would. Look, the makeup and the wig were like $30. I want to make that back on the video. I'm just saying. Anyway, let's jump into the news. They just announced that the Murders at Karlov Manor's streamer event has been canceled, and all they wrote was, due to unexpected circumstances, the Murders at Karlov Manor streamer event has been canceled. We understand this is disappointing to our community. Have you seen the number of people who tune into these? And hope to have more information about the future of MTG Arena streamer events in time for Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Which sounds like an epic metal album, but it's actually the next Magic set. So that's it for the news story. Just kidding, let's speculate wildly. I may not like Chinese food, but that's not going to stop me from making wanton speculations. For the record, that was just for the joke. I love Chinese food. First part of that's pretty straightforward. Second part's real interesting. They hope to have more information, so they do not right now, about the future of MTG Arena streamer events. Like, at all. Like, the entire future of it. So what are these events? Well, it's like a 1 week early access, I guess. I don't know. They've changed release dates to, like, not be release dates now. The stores can just sell the product as soon as they get it in, which I thought was a bit odd. But there are still technically release dates, but then I think even before that, the streamers get early access. They connect to like some private server thing, and it's like a whole thing. Some people like it. This isn't actually like a central stream. This isn't like some streamed tournament where you have to actually tune into WOTCs. So I was kind of joking before about, oh yeah, all 10 people that watch it. But it's still not that popular. I mean, if you watch somebody who streams Magic and other stuff, and then they come back to this to show off the game, whether you've played it before or you just kind of find it interesting to watch them play it, it actually is kind of popular. So if they've already announced, hey, I'm going to be included in this, because they usually line it up like way ahead of time, oh, you got to come back and say WotC canceled it and we don't know why. Wow, that's bad for PR. That is so bad. Giant company runs the biggest card game in the world, or at least, I don't know, used to, I haven't seen recent numbers, randomly just suspends a thing without telling you why. And then you basically have to tell your viewers that when they come asking why this thing didn't happen. That is so bad. So, okay, theory number one floating around on the internet. This is the first thing that came to mind. I wonder if they just fired the person who managed this, and here's the problem. I'm about 90% sure that that's the case because they just laid off 30% of the whole company. And yeah, it's partially the fault of the administration that's in charge right now. Not that people like Nikki Haley would be any better, just saying, or McCarthy. And the other portion is just WotC making idiotic decisions lately. Just short-term gain power creep stuff so that Chris Cox can put it on his resume or whatever. That's the theory, at least. The other prevailing theory was that Hasbro was bringing down their necks too close, and that just there was nothing they could do. Here's the problem with this theory, okay? We have an almost complete list of everybody who left WotC. So I don't remember seeing anybody that's like community event manager leaving. I know some sort of community manager left, but I'm not sure if this was their job. So we've almost linked it up, but in the couple posts online, Reddit, Twitter, whatever, where people are like, I bet it's because of layoffs, nobody that I've seen has replied with, well, yeah, it would have been so-and-so's job. Literally first name, last name, Here's the best part. Pre-orders go on sale for Karlov Manor tomorrow in the MTG store. So I'm actually not even sure when this event was supposed to be. Pretty dang soon, which means pretty short notice. In fact, this announcement article was written by Clayton Crow, which, who is that? I've never heard of that person before in my life. Boy, they're going through people. A lot of people left over are going to have to start doing two people's jobs, which, knowing what I know about Hasbro, will bring them right up to almost the workload of a normal job elsewhere. Anybody remember that really entitled whiny girl that left Linus Tech Tips and then said, oh my God, they wanted me to make 2 Instagram posts a day. God, the workload. Oh my God. So take that and multiply it by Seattle and you've got Wizards of the Coast. So are these streamer events ever coming back? Probably not. literally free advertising, but the person running it just got gutted. That has to be what it is. So I guess theory number 2, I'll throw it out there. They found critical errors in the set while testing and just had to cancel it one time. Just for this one, because the cards don't work. So if you're not familiar, the super quick version, because I've mentioned this to death, is that they couldn't find anybody to work for them who's a developer, which is amazing. So they just had to take all of MTG Arena and just ship it off to be maintained by a really experienced gaming company in Canada. But the way I see it, they probably just said, we'll give you X million per year, the end. So now, if they want better margins, they put the least amount of effort and time into it, like hourly. And the result is we've seen a bunch of really glitchy cards that don't work from new sets introduced into the game at launch time. So bad impression versus no impression when a whole bunch of cards just do not function correctly in Arena. Yeah, I would go towards no impression. And the streamers are going to stream it when it comes out. So, I mean, if they just want an extra hour of like crash work to fix this, and I say hour, an extra week, yeah, it probably needs that. It's probably still going to be glitched when it comes out. I mean, what set has launched correctly? And they've got like a 5-year track record of Arena working pretty close to perfectly, even during the beta. So this company, it can't be lack of experience, because the developers there are better than even the ones that WOTC had. Just putting it out there. So they're obviously rushing it, and they're obviously not like familiar with Magic the Gathering and the rules engines and that kind of stuff, you know? And for all we know, they're having AI write half the code or some foreign subcontractor, you know? About equally likely of spitting out some low effort, don't even understand what they're doing, basic code with flaws in it that you don't even understand when you receive the end code. So it could be some super critical thing where it's just the cards in the engine aren't going to be done in time. But I'd like to think there was enough lead time that they sent all the cards, 2 months ago to them to get them done. But they could have run a test event and then said there's like 15 glitches, and the company came back to them and said, we can't fix this until so-and-so date. Like, we're working on 5 other projects. Oh well. So I still think it was the manager of this getting fired, but like, wouldn't the event kind of run itself at this point? Or can't you just have somebody hop on and just hit the go button? Or like, what is there to do? You just send out a bulk email. I don't know. I mean, to me, that's how it seems like it would work. So I'd say that, I think I said 90% likely that it's the person who ran this got fired, but I'm down to almost 50-50 with it being the cards just don't work. And almost nobody's mentioning that. It's like confirmation bias where people are like, oh yeah, somebody suggested it's probably somebody getting fired. Oh, that's probably it. I'm going to state that because then I could throw Wizards under the bus because I don't like that they fired people and I'm still mad over it. Wanting something to be true and coming in neutral and looking at the evidence and then projecting what you think, or extrapolating or predicting, hypothesizing, whatever, what you think is really going on are 2 completely different things. And most people who use their brains know to handle it the latter way. So that's why I wanted to present both sides there. So that's about all we know for now. They are hyping up their pre-order, which is kind of funny given the announcement, but oh man. Oh, by the way, another little announcement. They announced a price change on the 12th that already happened on the 9th. Amazing. It's for the non-USD marketplaces. They're blah, 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 fluctuation up and down, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'm sure it was up and down. I'm sure there was just as much down as up. Uh-huh. I mean, the US dollar is devalued to hell, so I mean, maybe they lowered the price in some countries. I don't know. So they just wanted to announce that if you saw a price change, that's why. I mean, really, my advice is just stop giving them money. And in the Department of News that nobody cares about, they announced a bunch of alchemy rebalances according to their own stats that they were wise enough to send out. Literally nobody, it's a rounding error away from nobody, plays alchemy. That people hate it. Also, they now want you to opt in to your annual stats email, which is funny because they just sent one out, which is basically like an announcement of here's how much time you wasted on the game. Just a little reminder that you opened this many packs and got this many things, but they don't have like a, here's how much you spent or how many gems you redeemed or whatever. I'm pretty sure I didn't see that in my email, but they did say like how many packs you opened. So, I mean, if you paid for most of those packs, just saying. So I think what they did is they've now changed it to opt-in only or something. It's odd. I don't know. Their statements are contradictory. It doesn't make sense. They're kind of saying like you should have received it, but if you didn't opt in. But what I'm thinking is because of the way they wrote it and the fact that it already went out, and every new account sign up gets opted in automatically, I'm pretty darn sure. Unless you can uncheck the box, I don't know. But yeah, I think everybody would get it. So I think they were just like, they're getting really negative feedback, or like, I don't know. There's not even time to run a poll between the time it arrived and now. It's been like a couple days. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this one. Just like WOTC all the time, whenever they do anything. You don't really know the motivations and stuff, but they've been so shady and so just generally untrustworthy lately that you got to kind of start wondering about like the worst case scenario with everything they do. And that's a shame. But like I say in every video that I remember to, they can't stop you from playing whatever you want with whatever cards you want at your own kitchen table with your own group of friends. Just stay away from structured play, and they can't tell you what to do. They can't tell you what to ban. They can't tell you what to build. Go have fun. The game's still fun. Play it with your friends. And the fact that all the cards are overpowered that they're selling lately means if that's not acceptable to your play group, well then, you're playing the game an awful lot cheaper, aren't you? So hey, that's the crazy Monday news. Once again, if you didn't see yesterday's video, go check it out. It is absolutely insane, and I'll see you guys next time.